Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Riot platforms. It's an update. One of the followers actually requested this one to be updated. Now, as you may remember from the previous video, I am not too happy about the structure of this chart in terms of favoring the bullish scenario where we push to new highs. I would actually rather be in favor of getting to new lows rather, but there is a decent case. I actually don't think I can call it decent, to be honest. There is a case that in which we push still, even in the scenario that we go to new lows, we push still higher in a C wave to the upside. Now, what I don't like is that here we have what looks quite a lot like an impulse to the downside, and then we have a three-wave move to the upside. And yeah, as I said in the previous video as well, there is the case that we could follow the yellow interpretation where we have a double 1-2-1-2 setup that remains valid as long as we stay above the $2.36 level. And I will even add that here to the chart in yellow, because breaking this would be invalidation of the yellow scenario. And yeah, then we also have the white scenario, white interpretation, where this is an A wave up. This could be a B wave down complete, and we would now be in the C wave to the upside. There is possibility, and even the support zone still allows for continuation in this correction in the B wave to the downside. So this B wave bottom that we have marked here in white could be reset. That is completely fine. And the support zone suggests that probabilities are still higher than normal, but in the normal for this would be, for this scenario, for this movement would be quite low. Let me add that. But yeah, still higher than as long as we stay above the 78.6% retracement level at $1.51. Now, I would like to believe that this wave B bottomed here for the bullish, for the not necessarily bullish case, for the midterm bullish case where we complete a C wave to the upside, and then here we had our wave 1 to the upside. Now I also have a bit of an issue with this wave 1. The wave 3 was a bit weak. That is technically fine. I can allow that and still count it as an okay wave 1 to the upside. The proportions do look good here for wave 2 and a wave 4. And then we had this correction in a wave 2 that I would also like to be complete. Now this wave 2 would normally be allowed to go down to $4.84 and still have the same great probabilities for a reaction to the upside. And even if we don't actually complete this wave C to the upside, or yeah, even this fifth wave, there is still a decent argument for trading here this as an A, B, C, where we form then a larger A, B, C, and then reset this B wave. So technically we could be looking here for an ABC pattern that would allow us to go, yeah, ideally to the 100% extension level at $39 in this wave C, but yeah, it would have to prove itself as well as this chart does overall. And yeah, I will remove this briefly, this support zone, because I want to discuss these latest developments. And we have been tracking this movement to the upside with the assumption that, okay, let's track the idea that this wave 2 is complete here. And now we could have here our first wave 1 that is developing here, but so far we only have a three-wave pattern. That's at best, and then we would have maybe an A, B. No, that would be an A, B, C. It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that is developing, and I would ideally prefer that to have a leading diagonal in a wave 1 than the ABC structure. In that, I would prefer that in the favor of the chart. I would like for the chart to do that because it would benefit it, but then we would have to hold above $10.20 level. So far we are okay. This support zone, this larger one, is for the interpretation that is a 3-wave move in an ABC, and yeah, breaking below the 78.6% retracement would rather indicate we are more likely to follow lower and reset this wave to bottom. But for now, we are still within this support zone here that is between $13 down to around, yeah, as I said, $10.20. We did react here in the area of the 50% retracement level, but we also have the resistance here from $11.50 up to around $12.60 that, when broken, would rather indicate that we wouldn't necessarily be looking for a fifth wave to the downside to form this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we would have an A wave to the downside or a larger wave 1, and that would indicate after a retracement, that's fine, rather continuation even lower. And let me add these two ideas. So I would like this movement to the downside to be complete. Now I will also remove this large support zone in white because it is overlapping. I just want to show you which one I'm removing. So I'm removing this one temporarily because it is a bit hard to see in this area at the moment. And yeah, I have the interpretation here in white that this correction is complete, that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth wave to come, and I will leave this in white. I will keep this interpretation, let's say, in blue, where we are tracking rather an A, B, C that developed. And then I would also like to add the interpretation that we push directly lower here in the fifth wave that doesn't have an endpoint that must be held, but I would add this. Yeah, let's use the red count to add this and make this resistance zone in red. So just to reiterate, we are looking to break above the 50% retracement here in red to follow the white scenario in which we are pushing directly higher into the fifth wave, and then we have the blue scenario as a backup for the direct bullish case where this is a wave 1 up and then this would be a wave 2 down, and then we would be looking to form a leading diagonal where the third wave would also be an ABC, and then the fourth wave could be a triangle, could be an ABC, and then the fifth wave also an ABC to the upside, and that would be our first wave 1 of the larger third wave. But I wouldn't really like the blue scenario to play out, but I'm not discarding it. We will keep tracking the white scenario as long as we stay above $10.20. But for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.